Hey guys, so if you like warm toned eyeshadows but they don't look good on you because you have cool toned skin like I do, I'm going to show you some tricks today to make them a lot more wearable. Because the problem is, like, I have blue eyes, okay, and they always tell you when you have blue eyes to wear warm toned eyeshadows because it will make them pop more. And that's all fine and good, but if you have cool toned skin, warm toned makeup products can make you look ill. But I'm discovering things as I go along in life to help with that problem, and I'm going to show you that today. So I already have all my face makeup on, including my brows, my lips. Everything is done except for my eyes. And the only thing that I've put on my eyes so far is Urban Decay Anti-Aging Primer Potion. So we're going to take it from there. So first of all, what I have been doing lately is using two eyeshadow primers. I've been starting with this because I do really like the formula, but it doesn't cover discoloration or veining because it's just a clear formula. So I've been adding something on top, and I normally use MAC Painterly Paint Pot, but for today's purpose we're going to use NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk because this is a white cream eyeshadow, and this will cool the entire area down color-wise. So anything we put on top of it will appear cooler than it would on its own. I just use my finger because I like to heat the product up with the warmth of my body. So I'm just going to put that on just like I normally would with any other eyeshadow primer. This is quite thick, so you just want to make sure that you blend it out really well and make sure that it's nice and even before you start putting any eyeshadows on over it. So see how that just cooled everything down? It colored up my veining and discoloration like I wanted it to, but it also just cooled that whole area. And it's so funny because if it wasn't for one of you asking me in the comment section yesterday, I kind of had this idea for this video rolling around in my brain, but then someone had asked me about brow bone highlights that were cooler. And the first thing I thought of was Wet n Wild Brulee, but I guess that's not really that cool. I guess it's kind of a neutral. So what I had suggested to the person that asked was that they use this as a base and then just leave the white like peeking out, because this is definitely cool. And you can put some in your inner corners too if you want to. So I'll just put a little dab in there as well. Okay, so now we have a nice white base to start with. Now the eyeshadows that I'm using today, I'm going to use the same ones that I used yesterday, that I had on in yesterday's video. These are all really warm eyeshadows, except for one, and that's one of my other tricks. Okay, so this is Saddle. This is what I'm going to use in the crease. This is all that glitters. I'm going to use that as a brow bone and inner corner highlight, which is a little deep to use for those purposes most of the year, but I have a little bit of a tan. I know most of you are probably like, what? You call that a tan? For me, this is tan. So I'm gonna push the limits here, and I'm gonna use this for highlighting because I really like the way this coordinates with the other colors that I'm using. This is Woodwinked. MAC describes this as a warm antique gold, and Temptalia, which is my most read blog, it's just temptalia.com. She describes this as a warm metallic gold, and Mac says warm antique gold. In any case, whether it's a brown or a gold, it's kind of both. It's like a golden brown. I normally cannot wear that eyeshadow. It looks horrible on me. It makes me look sick. But I'm a little bit darker right now than I am the rest of the year. I've got my white base on, but what's going to make this work for me is this. This is MAC Espresso. It is a cool-toned brown shadow. We're going to put the Woodwinked over the Espresso, and it will help it transform into something that is more wearable for my skin tone, because I just can't wear Woodwinked on its own. It looks bad. Okay, so let's start like I normally would. And I'm just going to use this concealer brush by Wet n Wild, and I'm going to go into the All That Glitters. Just pick up a little bit of that on my brush, and I'm going to use that as my brow bone highlight. This is like a pretty beige shade, but yeah, it's a deeper beige. And then I'm going to put that in the inner corners as well, right over that NYX Jumbo eye pencil. I don't hear as many people talk about those anymore, so I hope they never discontinue them because I really like them. But Wet n Wild has a very similar, not Wet n Wild, I'm sorry, LA Colors has a very similar line of jumbo eye pencils, but I don't feel like those probably sell as well anymore either. But I like jumbo eye pencils because you get the most for your money, because they last a long time because you sharpen them so they don't go bad, and it lasts. You'll have to throw it out before you can possibly use it up. They last a long time. Okay, so next I'm going to go in with Espresso. And I'm going to take my MAC 239 brush, and I'm going to put that on the lids. This is not the most pigmented eyeshadow in the world, but that's going to work in our favor, because if I used something else, it would be too much. My eye would be too heavily coated with it, and then I wouldn't really be able to use another shadow on top of it. So the fact that this is not pigmented works well. And I don't know what in the world made me think to even try this, but I did, and I was really happy with the results. So that's just giving me a light coating of a cool toned brown. And I'm just building this up slowly to get exactly the intensity that I want, because I don't want it to be too dark, but I do want it completely covered. Now, if you have something else that's a cool tone brown, obviously you can use that instead. You don't have to use these exact colors, but this is what I'm doing to make Woodwinked work. But I'm sure that if you have the same problem I do, you have other shadows in your collection that you would like to use that you just don't feel like they look good on you. So let me do the other eye with the Espresso off camera to save some time. Okay, so I've got Espresso, a light layer of Espresso on both eyes. Now we're going to go in with a Saddle, which is going to be my crease color. And this is a Wet n Wild P19 brush. Okay, so I'm just starting with a small amount there, and I'm just going to put this in my crease, starting in the outside corner with small circular motions going in and then back out again. And this is a really warm, like rusty brown, orangey type, very fall-ish color. This happens to me every year where, you know, once we start getting close to fall, I just want to start doing these really fallish eye combinations again. I can't even wait for the first day of fall to just dive right into them. So I thought this would be a good time to talk about this like technique of layering tones, because I'm sure I'm not the only person out there that has this problem with warm eyeshadows not always looking the greatest. I can get away with certain colors and certain depths of color, but if I want to go like warm antique gold like this Woodwinked, I have to do something to compensate. Okay, so we're just going to leave that in the crease for now. Okay, I can always tweak that at the end because it looks like it's sort of uneven and not blended completely, but let's move on to the next section here. Okay, I'm going to go in with this Wet n Wild large eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to pick up some of that Woodwinked. And see how dark that made the brush? So this is a really dark color. I'm just kind of pressing that over the Espresso. Yeah, this is, Woodwinked is a very soft eyeshadow, so you don't have to put your brush, you don't have to like swirl your brush in there, you just have to like press it. And I'm doing the same thing with my application here. I'm just pressing it onto my eyelid. You don't have to do any kind of sweeping motions. Okay, so Woodwinked is on. Now I'm going to go back with the MAC 239. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to go back to the Wet n Wild Pro Brush, and I'm going to dip that into Saddle and just pick up a tiny bit of product and put that right on the outside part of that Woodwinked to just give it some dimension. Okay, next I'm going to go into my Kleancolor Smokin Gel Black Eyeliner. And I'm going to use this Sonia Kashuk 202 brush, but that company has been rebranded. All their products have been rebranded. So I don't think they make this anymore. Okay, I'm going to dip that into my gel eyeliner. If you're new to my channel, you might be thinking, what the heck is she doing? I like to put eyeliner on the waterline, on the tight line. I'm probably the only person on YouTube who doesn't do like a big winged eyeliner right on the top lash line. This is just what I prefer. My eyes are slightly hooded, and I am 57 years old, so I've got some like drooping going on, so I want to keep that eye space as large as possible to give me a more youthful appearance. So I like to put the liner on the inside of the water lines instead. Black eyeliner does close off the eyes a little bit, but I think that by putting it where I'm putting it, I'm sort of compensating. I just feel like if I don't use black eyeliner, the eyeshadows don't pop as much against the black. I mean, you can see the difference there. All right, I'll do the other one off camera to save time. Okay, now I'm going to go back into saddle with my small Zoeva pencil brush. And I'm going to drag that right underneath where I just put that eyeliner. That's another thing that I feel like your look doesn't look complete unless you drag a little bit of shadow along the liner. Every time I skip that step now, it just looks so strange to me without it. Okay, next I'm going to curl my lashes and add mascara, and I will be back. Okay, so the eyes are done, and I feel like I can pull this eye look off because of using that espresso underneath it. Another thing you can do to help things out if you have cool toned skin and you're doing a really warm eye look is incorporate a little bit of coolness in your lip product. I have on MAC lip pencil in Soar, which is a pink lip liner, and I lined and filled in my lips, and then I put Wet n Wild Bare It All on top, which is a light beige or a light brown color, and I put that on top of the lip pencil. So I've got warmth and coolness together in my lips, and the coolness is a little more flattering with my skin tone, but then the warmth coordinates with the eyes. So that is it. Those are my tips and tricks for trying to make warm eyeshadows work better with a cool skin tone. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys, thanks for watching.